Debbie Wasserman Schultz defeated progressive primary challenger Tim Canova in her district in Florida. She had about 57% of the vote. Tim Canova was able to raise over $3 million by running a Bernie Sanders-like campaign. He had grassroots people just funneling money to his campaign because they realized, oh, Debbie's horrific, and she's the epitome of an establishment insider who doesn't care about us. So let's go for this guy, Tim Canova. Well, in the end, Bernie endorsed him, but never ended up going down there and actually campaigning for him. That may have hurt him a little. Debbie raised about the same amount of money, but she also had Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, John Lewis, and Gabby Giffords campaign and fundraise with her. And, of course, Obama endorsed her as well. So she hung on. She hung on because she's the incumbent. She hung on because she had all this star power behind her. And she also hung on because, I mean, let's keep it real and call it what it is. The media has utterly failed us across the board, but specifically when it comes to the issue of these establishment Democrats. And also, look, I'm not absolving the voters. I'm not absolving the people in this situation. It is also incumbent upon them to, learn about your different options, learn about Tim Canova, learn about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, make an informed decision about who's good and who's bad and who will represent the people and who won't. And they just didn't do that. So the media did a poor job educating people, of course, but then also the people themselves have to take responsibility too. Honestly, it should have been one of the easiest races in the country. It should have been, because there's so much information out there about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and just how big of a disaster she is, and people still voted for her. And in a sense, maybe this is a more extreme example, but in a sense, I compare this to Representative Scott DesJarlais of Tennessee. I don't know if you guys remember him. He's a guy who ran a campaign on family values, of course, big-time Republican, and we found out that he made his wife and his mistress, stay classy, have abortions, multiple, plural, so he made them have abortions. He was also a doctor, and he prescribed drugs just so that his mistresses could get high. And this is a guy who, we knew all this about him, cheated with multiple women, made them have abortions, and gave prescriptions so people could get high. He got reelected in a landslide. Multiple times. So, in the same way you look at the Tennessee voters and you go, you guys are fucking stupid. No, seriously. There's you're either so insanely ignorant that there's an argument you shouldn't even go to the fucking ballot box, or you're just stupid. Because I care about family values. I'm a Tennessee Republican voter, and that's what I care about. All I care, I'm against abortion. I'm for Christian values, family values. All right, I'm going to vote for the guy who forced his wife and his mistress to have an abortion, and he likes to get high by giving pills to people because he's a doctor and whatnot. And by the way, he was also caught with marijuana. Stay classy. So this is exactly what happened. It's just the Democratic version in Florida, where you couldn't, again, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, you just do one fucking Google search, and what do you find? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that she is a stooge for the predatory payday lender industry. I mean, we were pulling our hair out over this story. You had Elizabeth Warren, and you had actual progressive Democrats pushing to try to regulate these predatory payday lenders. Debbie Wasserman Schultz steps in at the last minute on their behalf and goes, maybe we take these rules and we delay them a few years. Oh, me? On the side of the predatory payday lenders? No. Oh, look at that. I took so much money from the predatory payday lenders. This is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So, and the thing is, it's on a whole nother level. It's so much more egregious than other politicians, too, because, it's actually rare Democrats even take money from predatory payday lenders. Don't get me wrong, they almost all take it from Wall Street banks, just like the Republicans, and that's terrible. But the predatory payday lenders, a lot of the Democrats are like, that's a step too far. They're very predatory. So we can't even pretend like we're looking out for the people if we're taking money from the fucking payday loan industry. Debbie's like, I don't give a fuck. Sign me up, bitch. Give me my money. And then look what ends up happening. She ends up defending them and helping them and succeeding in doing so. So there's Debbie Wasserman Schultz for you. How can anybody look at that and go, oh, yeah, let's go for her again? And then probably the biggest point, the elephant in the room here is she helped rig a primary against Bernie Sanders and for Hillary Clinton. She rigged the democratic process. People are like, Yeah, let's go for her. What? How is that a thing? How is that an option? How is that on the table? There are fucking emails. She emailed people at MSNBC and said, yeah, this must stop. You must stop bashing me on air. Oh, that's nice. So you don't believe in the fucking First Amendment either, or the Constitution. You know, Chuck Todd, let me tell you something. Those people on Morning Joe are being a little too harsh on me. Somebody needs to have a strong word for them. I'm going to your superior. I'm going to Phil Griffin. Right? It is Phil Griffin for MSNBC. I think it is. I'm going to Phil, and I'm going to tell him that this is bad. Debbie, you're a fucking politician. You're in Congress. You're not allowed to do that. You can't say the media needs to shut up about me. What the fuck? Are you openly fascist? Is that what the fuck you are? That is what you are. That's what you're asking. You're being authoritarian. I need you to stop criticizing me. Who does that? Somebody who doesn't understand our system of government and only cares about herself and her power and her image. And then remember all the internal DNC emails. Well, how can we create a narrative against Bernie Sanders? Well, he's leading in the polls in Kentucky and West Virginia. How about we leak the fact that he might be an atheist, and we try to atheist shame him and play up Hillary's religious side, and then maybe that'll help her win in those states. Wouldn't that be great? This was all the DNC under her. This is an epic disaster, and honestly, it makes me lose hope a little bit. It does. So again, it's on the media for not doing a better job covering her and explaining, okay, look what she did with the predatory payday lenders. Hello, warning sign, warning sign. Hello, look what happened with the email leaks and the fact that we know that she was biasing the election in favor of Hillary Clinton. So they didn't do a good enough job covering that. And also, you got to put the blame on the people. You know, people could cry and yelp and bitch and moan, oh my God, our government's terrible, and they're right, it's not representing you. But then when you have an opportunity to oust one of the worst offenders, you're like... So, it's a sad, sad day. And then on top of it, I should also throw in a mention for this. You know who else lost yesterday in a Democratic primary? Alan Grayson. Alan Grayson, loathed by Harry Reid and the Democratic establishment. He's running against Patrick Murphy, another epitome of an establishment insider Democrat. And we covered the story recently. You know what Patrick Murphy's daddy did? He gave, I don't know if it was $1 million or $2 million, but he gave a metric fuck ton of money to make sure that his son won re-election. And it worked. And it worked. And Alan Grayson got kicked to the curb. Now, Alan Grayson was in Congress, and then he was running for the Senate this time. And again, this was the primary. So it's going to be Patrick Murphy versus Marco Rubio. By the way, I really think that Patrick Murphy has a chance of losing to Marco Rubio. Rubio's up in the polls. I don't think if it was Alan Grayson versus Marco Rubio, I don't think Marco Rubio would stand a fucking chance. The polls right now might show that, Marco would beat Alan Grayson. No. Alan Grayson knows how to run a fucking campaign, and he knows how to win. Did you know that the last election, when the Democrats got their clocks cleaned, across the board, what happened? Alan Grayson won in a landslide. Why? Because he ran a campaign saying, yeah, I'm a fucking liberal. I don't give a shit. Suck it. Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud to be a liberal, and I'm going to argue for these policies. You disagree with me? How about you're the moron? How about that? So he ran that campaign. He won overwhelmingly in an election where all the mealy-mouthed, centrist, moderate Democrats got destroyed. You know, the perfect example of that is Allison Lundergan Grimes. She ran in Kentucky, and Mitch McConnell beat her. Mitch McConnell, who has unfavorables of roughly 43 quadrillion, won and beat Allison Lundergan Grimes. She lost. So what does that show you? You got to be progressive. You got to be aggressive. Alan Grayson was that, but he lost because his challenger, Patrick Murphy, got daddy's money in there and was able to spend so much more and get his name out there so much more and create the narrative so much more. And so we lost Grayson, and we also lost Canova. We never had Canova, but Debbie Wasserman Schultz now staying in there. And not a good day. Not a good day.